Hello and welcome to another one of my videos, and in today's video I'm going to be going through a gold order that I was pestered into buying. Now, jokes aside, a long-term client of mine, he kind of went off radar for a bit, and he messages me and he says, Sean, I'm looking to sell, I've got gold and silver. I was like, well, firstly, the silver's not for me. I'm coming off the VAT, so I'm not really trading anything that is vatable in terms of sales. I have popped up with the odd thing. It tends to be stuff that has come in for free via various methods. I will get into that in another video. I have been selling those things, but in terms of buying and selling silver and platinum, I just haven't done it. I then said, I'm more than happy to take your gold. What do you have? And he's like, there's quite a lot. And I was like, it's okay. Just show me what you got. And then I didn't get back to him. I was having really bad headaches for a while, and then it must have been about a month. And he said, I don't need the money now, but just get back to me when you can. So I finally got back to him, and I was like, look, I'm really sorry. You know the score. I haven't been great, but if you're still willing to sell them, I'm happy to make you an offer. And it was a real comedy of errors. So he gave me a list, and I quoted him a price, and part of the order was wrong on his behalf, part of it was wrong on my behalf. So he sent me over 22 sovereigns. However, on the list there's only 21. And I said to him, you sent me an extra sovereign. There was also a graded coin. He said it was a PF70, it was a PF69, so that changed the value considerably. And I just didn't quote him for one of his coins as well. I got in, I was like, that's not good, Sean. You need to rectify that. But we got there in the end. We laughed about it. I paid him. He sent them in. I paid him. It was all good. So let's get into the coins. God, 2 minutes in. I love to talk, don't I? So 2 boxes of these came in. I'm actually going to take the sovereigns out. These are just bullion sovereigns, run-of-the-mill sovs. Nothing special about them. They're all different years. I've already taken apart the first box. Essentially, I've got a little project, or I plan to have a little project that will involve these cases. I actually had a couple of these cases in the past, and for some reason I actually sold some of the coins with the capsules. I don't know why I did that, and the other one is a gift, so I'm keeping the boxes. I tried to list these coins for spot plus 10 plus post with free postage on 5 sovereigns and more. There wasn't any takers. In all honesty, I don't think I'm going to go any lower. If people don't want to pay that, I'm happy just to sit them in the reserve. For those of you who watched my last video, you'll know I made a decent wedge on the postage stamps over the last few months. I can just sit on the sovereigns. It doesn't really bother me. The cash flow is okay. They've increased my overdraft. If anything, I'm doing all right at the moment. It's not a problem. So yeah, there was 2 lots of these. I will show you the other sovereigns because I've taken them out. Nothing special about them. Just bullion. I don't think there's any young heads. I think there's an old head somewhere. I thought maybe it's in the other one. Yeah, there is some old heads, no young heads, mind you. The premiums and young heads have really fluctuated. I remember there was a point where they were kind of the go-to thing. There was also, for those of you who are quite astute, like, well, that's only 17 sovereigns, Sean. There was one of these which has already been sold. There's a lady, she's an entrepreneur herself. She's been pestering me about some things, and this was one of them. So that was fine. And there was 2 of these, the 2012s. I will make a video about sovereign pricing because it's gone completely the other way to how it was. There's a real crunch on the spread at the moment. I don't want to go down the route of offering people less than spot, but the reality is we might get there. So that's 20. It's one of these. Again, this will be the same price. I believe this is a TDC. Let's have a look. Let's see how good my memory is. Ah, it is. Yes. Still got it, guys. I still got it. I didn't check before either. It could have been one of maybe 3. So there's 1.5 of these. I reckon these will do okay. The halves are probably priced at spot +6 plus post. This is a nice half. So that was the sovereigns. There was one of these. So I paid over for this. This has gone to the same lady who bought the 2002. She bought a few Proof Eagles from... I don't know if you guys watched that episode where I had like 100+ coins. That collection's been a nightmare. I still have maybe 30 to 40 coins left. It hasn't gone to plan. Such is life, you know. I take the risk, I take the reward. But with risk also comes downfalls. So this was the coin that he said was a 70. It was a real shame. I really wanted a 70, but it's okay. We just adjusted the price accordingly. He was happy with the new offer. This is the second PF69 I have in stock. I've now lowered these to £700 each, posted. Whether or not people take that up is on them. There was... Okay, I'll go through those in a second. 3 of these. I paid him 600 for the 3. I think there's probably 700 in them in a good day. I think there's probably 650 in a bad day, but they don't sell. Again, they kind of fit the sweet spot in my regards, because if I don't sell them, they're not going to go out of fashion. Sure, the spread is going to change, but people are always going to want special year sovereigns. It's one of the go-tos for even basic sovereign collectors, because you can buy the special years and not drop silly money, whereas if you go for the real numismatic pieces, you're going to be dropping silly money. Now this coin, he said it was a PF70. This was actually one of my coins prior. In all fairness, I think a few of these were my coins prior. I don't think all of them were. I did sell him a few. He said to me, yeah, it's a PF70 sovereign, so I quoted him a price, and he was like, okay. Got it in. I was like, yeah, I've overpaid for that. However, I quote the price on this. I quoted 2. I said it was between X and Y. I just said, look, if I pay you the lower bounds of this, and I'll pay you what I quoted on this, I think it balances it out. So I'm not really that fussed about it. And he was like, yeah, that seems fair, not a problem. So this is probably a 300 coin, maybe. Bad day, it's going to be a 250 coin. Even in the PR69. Doesn't mean it's going to sell. Again, it hits the sweet spot for me, so I'm not really that bothered. This, I believe, was one of mine. I've actually messaged a client about this. Nice guy, lives in Ireland. He might take it. I'm not sure. I know he likes his quarters. I know he likes his Brits. It's whether or not he wants this one. I don't know. Nice coin. I had this come in as a set, so I believe it was the 20th, the 10th, and the quarter. It's funny how you remember certain things. I remember having this set. I think one of them got a PF70 and the others got 69, so I was pretty disappointed at the time. Right, let's get to the last couple of coins. I'll save the best till last. This coin here I need shooting for, because I just didn't factor it into the numbers. I just overlooked it. I don't know why. This needs conservation. Let's get it out the pot. Out the box, should I say. It's really funny that this came in, because I had one of these come in the other day as well. I've never had the peed fault before, and I had 2 in a week. It does need cleaning up. Not going to get a 70. Hey, if it gets a 69, you know, happy days. I'll take coins like this any day of the week. You know, I know they can be conserved. I'm just losing time. I quoted him the same price I paid for the one I bought last week, and the reason being, the one I bought last week was in better condition. I'm not going to dispute that. But it sold for a lot more than I thought it would, and I wasn't really expecting that. So I thought it was fair to pay that price, or the price I offered. Again, I'm going to lose it for 3 months. You know, I'm probably going to sell the box, etc., etc. And last but not least, now you're going to be thinking, it's just a Sovereign. It's a Duro Sovereign. Now, I probably overpaid for this. There was a gentleman who messaged me and he said, I'm after a Duro Sovereign. And I said, look, you're going to be paying, I think I quoted him 600 to 700 on it. And he comes back to me and says, look, I don't want to pay that much. I was like, that's okay, that's fair enough. He's like, they're selling on the groups for 450. And I said, if you can buy them for 450, you buy the lot. Because honestly, they're going cheap. This one will go for grading. This might come into my personal collection. I'm undecided. I did actually recently add a Shield Sovereign to my personal collection. It's already gone off for grading. But the good thing about this is it's the provenance. So this will grade no problem because it's the actual coin on the provenance, which is the same coin in the box. Now let's see how many of you are eagle-eyed. I would say this is a 55 to a 58. Let's drill that in. I'll focus that in, sorry. I do think this is a 55 to a 58 myself. Just looking at their hairlines, I'd go more towards a 55. On a good day, a 58, but probably a 55. So I paid the gentleman 550 for this. If someone said to me, I'll pay you 650, you know, I'd be selling it. And I wouldn't have a problem charging 650 for that. Because yes, times are tough. Yes, you might be able to pick them up slightly cheaper, but in terms of the provenance, the paperwork and the actual condition of the coin, I don't think you're going far wrong at that price. I could be wrong. There could be people say, you need to move with the times, and maybe, but you're paying for the history, you're paying for the paperwork. You know, you just swap out another Sovereign if you want cheap Sovereigns. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If anyone does want to buy anything, it's not a sales channel, but you know where my email is. Yeah, take care guys, bye.